So now to the winning entries. There's a gold medalist and 2 honorable mentions. The first honorable mention goes to Jaswanth from C.A.R.E School of Architecture in Trichy for the thesis project pop-up structures for temporal scenarios. So congratulations, Jaswanth, and I request Bijoy to say a few words about the project.
A vast majority, around 60% of the projects, were institutional campuses and urban inserts. Though these were familiar types, what was surprising was that many sought to redefine, in terms of scale, what makes a campus and how one intervenes in the city. There seems to be a shift towards a more tactical engagement. Many projects were predicated on a detailed understanding of the context in which students were working, and this was heartening to see too. The pop-up structures thesis proposal from C.A.R.E was one of 3 such projects looking at the design of a structural framework to accommodate temporary habitation. The project received unanimous endorsement from the jury for its sophisticated representational quality, the attention to detail, its playfulness, and it tapped into a growing awareness of the need to look at architecture possibly as ephemera, particularly relevant in the context of Rahul's new book. The project looks at a site en route to the temple at Palani, using it to accommodate pilgrims during the annual Thaipusam festival. The site is imagined before and after the festival season, returning it to its agrarian condition. A mix of accommodation, health services, and restrooms occupy the site during the festival, and these 2 are imagined before and after, dismantled and taken to other locations in the city. All of this rendered in wonderfully detailed drawings, showing both a sensitivity to the mechanics of these kinetic structures and the color and whimsy with which these would be draped. Having had access only to a vastly abridged version of the students' work, one hopes that the fundamental idea of a deployable armature was indeed studied thoroughly. The impact of having a large group of people stay for the duration of the festival, around 2 weeks, will be quite severe on the landscape, and this too is an area for detailed investigation. Managing waste, accommodating foundations or anchors for these structures, and so on. We hope this encouragement will push the student to further this study on deployable structures, and more importantly, continue to find ways to use design to actively engage with the world. The project reminded me of Mr. Correa's essay, Hornby Trains, Chinese Gardens and Architecture. He writes, and I quote, "I think I became an architect because of toy trains. As a child, I had a Hornby tin plate track and a couple of locomotives and wagons. Nothing very ambitious, really just enough to run the trains around your room, and the following day perhaps change the layout so that they could run into the next room under a table and back again. That was the marvelous thing about these old tin plate rails. They had flexibility. Every time one finished playing, back they went into their wooden box to be reincarnated the next day in a totally new formation," end quote. I urge the student to consider this amazing idea of a finite kit of parts capable of being assembled in new formations and thus able to accommodate multiple imaginations and exist in the city in fluid and transient ways. Congratulations.
Yeah. Good evening, all. Thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity to me. I'd like to thank to Charles Correa Foundation and my college faculties and the principals, HOD, and the guide who guided me to do this. And also special thanks to Rahul with us, sir. This was the book. That's a departure point to start my thesis. It's a small scale mail. I consider this my thesis as a small scale mail to how to approach, how the people use, how all the people observe the structures. So that was my starting point. I didn't even expect that I will get a prize or honorable mention. So thanks to all jury members. Thanks to my college faculties and friends who supported me to do this structures. Thank you.
It's also interesting to see that there were a number of projects that were talking about this kind of temporal architecture, no? Something that was being installed for a small period of time and then dismantled and taken away. It seems to be a recurring theme with this.
It was a wonderful video, I think, to actually see the whole, assembly and then collapse of those pieces. The whole kit of parts was really very well done. Well, congratulations, Jaswanth, and thank you, Bijoy, for your description. It was very, very, very beautiful too.
Thank you. Thank you.